Thank you, dear Chair, dear colleagues. It is an utmost pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the invitation. And the topic itself is particularly interesting for us, as if you read the press, especially the Western press, about Hungary and the debate and conflict between Hungary and the European Union, the background is exactly this, the sovereignty and constitutional issues. And let me highlight briefly what is in behind and what is the Hungarian perspective and approach in this regard. So in the 21st century, sovereignty has once again become a central constitutional issue, as a globalization and European integration blur the boundaries of state power. Hungary has sought to redefine what sovereignty means, not merely as a legal status, but as a living constitutional and identity-based principle. Our aim is to understand how Hungary protects its sovereignty through its fundamental law, constitutional court, and within, but never beneath, European integration. Traditionally, sovereignty meant absolute and exclusive authority within a territory. But in today's interconnected world, that concept has evolved. Modern sovereignty is shared and responsible. It involves both autonomy and cooperation. Globalization and the European Union have redefined sovereignty through collective decision-making. Hungary's approach exemplifies how a nation can adapt to these realities while keeping sovereignty constitutionally anchored. Cooperation does not mean dependence. So the theoretical foundation of Hungary's model is the constitutional sovereignty. Over time, sovereignty has shifted from monarchs to the people. In this modern understanding, the Constitution both empowers and limits state authority. It forms the basis of what we call constitutional pluralism in Europe. In Hungary's case, sovereignty is exercised through constitutional consent, not delegated by the European Union. Our national understanding of sovereignty is deeply rooted in history. As you may know, Hungary is one among the oldest states within Europe, established already in the 10th century with a statehood and as a kingdom in the year of 1000. From the Golden Bull of 1222, so 800 years ago, a first kind of constitution which limited royal power to the founding of the Christian Hungarian state around the year 1000. And the other remarkable milestone was the 1848 revolution that demanded responsible government. Hungary has consistently linked sovereignty with self-determination. The democratic transformation of 1989 restored that independence, and the 2011 fundamental law set by the current governing party and government connected it to the Hungary's Christian heritage and national continuity. Thus, our sovereignty rests on both legal and civilizational foundations. The fundamental law itself provides explicit safeguards for sovereignty. Article B1 declares Hungary to be an independent, democratic, rule of law state. Article Q commits us to international cooperation while preserving independence. Most importantly, Article E allows participation in the European Union only if it does not restrict Hungary's core sovereign rights. This clause ensures that integration remains under constitutional control. The guardian of this principle is the Constitutional Court. Since 2016, the court has declared sovereignty a core part of Hungary's constitutional identity. Through landmark rulings, such as those in 2016, 19, and 2021, it has affirmed that EU law cannot override the fundamental principles of the Hungarian constitution. This is not about confrontation, but a dialogue, a constitutional conversation between Hungary and the European Union. Our concept of constitutional identity defines the essential features of the Hungarian state: democracy, rule of law, fundamental rights, culture, and independence. Sovereignty and identity are interdependent. They strengthen one another. This doctrine ensures that EU law respects Hungary's constitutional self-understanding, serving as a defense against supranational overreach. In this spirit, Hungary supports what we call constitutional pluralism, a Europe of cooperation and coordination, not subordination. The fundamental law affirms that Hungary's domestic constitution remains the ultimate source of legitimacy, and the Constitutional Court may intervene only when EU actions violate constitutional identity or exceed the powers delegated to the Union. At the same time, Hungary emphasized democratic legitimacy within the European Union. We believe that the decisions in Brussels must remain accountable to citizens. Competence transfer can be legitimate only when it is democratically controlled. In this sense, sovereignty becomes the constitutional framework for meaningful and legitimate EU participation. Ultimately, a Hungarian model represents what we call responsible sovereignty. It balances national independence with European cooperation, open yet constitutionally safeguarded. It avoids both extreme nationalism and uncritical integration. Instead, it offers a dynamic model grounded in historical continuity and constitutional identity. In conclusion, sovereignty is not a relic of the past. It is a living constitutional principle that ensures legitimacy, cooperation, and identity in the modern world. Hungary's approach seeks to balance self-determination with integration, anchoring democracy in constitutional tradition while contributing to a pluralist European order that respects both unity and diversity. Thank you very much.